Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very well, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, where we stopped in the last class was we were able to sign up for free on WordPress.com. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I said for us to be able to, I mean, that's just for free, but if you want to have your own domain name and hosting, I said I was going to demonstrate how you can get that. But because we were unable to use the projector, we pushed that section to the Zoom session. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start from the last where we stopped. So this time I'm going to log into a website and I'm going to share that website to in the chat so that you can follow along. I hope you have your system with you, your laptop with you as well.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to be doing this this registration, domain name registration and website hosting on my own. Or you want to host your own website, you can do that. But I'm just so that you can follow along. I will still upload the recorded session online for you to, if you want to do it on your own. But you can also follow along. When it gets to the payment aspect, you can skip. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I'm posting the URL in the chat section now. So the URL is namecheap.com. 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 So here you can purchase domain name, hosting, email hosting, applications. You know, there are some applications that they also use, like logo maker, business card makers, but we're not dealing with that now. We're only going to focus on domain name and hosting. If there's anything I've said and you don't get, please pull me back before I go too far. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So why do we need to buy a domain name? Let me just explain briefly why we might need to have a domain name. On the internet is network of network of networks, network of computers, but you can't access anything on the internet without using a particular address. So it's just like saying you live on Redemption Camp. How do I locate you on the Redemption Camp? I'm using Redemption Camp as the whole internet now. So if people want to come to your website, let's say your website is your business or office space on the internet. So how will people locate you on the internet? Let's say you have a church, rccgmercyofgod.com. That is the domain name. That's the address. Just like you saying number 4 Ajale Koko Street, Redemption Camp, Owe, Ogun State. That is the domain name. But this domain name is just a friendly address. Nobody will have time to be cramming. Let's assume you have so many sites you want to visit. Nobody will have time to be cramming your number 6 Ajayi Street or number 6 Margaret Avenue. Nobody have time to be storing those things in their head. To make it easy to remember, that's why we'll come up with something named something called domain name, something easy to remember. Because the internet uses IP address to locate your website or your hosting. But for it, nobody will have time to remember or will be jotting down every time 19.16. IP address. So for you to have something that is easy for people to remember, that's why you come online to get a domain name. Then you now point it to your home address, which is your web hosting. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So example of domain name is rccg.org. So if I go to rccg.org now, that's all I need to know to visit or check anything that has to do with RCCG. I don't need to know where it's hosted. I don't need to know what kind of server is hosted on. I don't need to know if it's hosted in Nigeria or in the US. What the people, I mean your members or your stakeholders or users needs to know is just the domain name. So when you are selecting domain name, you have to make it easy to remember and as friendly as possible. In some cases, if it's possible, make it as short as possible so that people can easily remember. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so for the purpose of this training, I'm going to register a name. So there's something we call top level domain. When you see something like rccg.org now, just give me, let me open Notepad. When you see something like rccg.org, the full address might be different. You can see www.rccg.org. So the org is a top level domain. That is the top level domain. So it can be .com, it can be .org, it can be .edu, it can be .church, it can be .online. So you have to pick the top level domain that is applicable to your website. If you are opening a website for a school, most of the time you might want to register .edu. If you are opening a website for NGO organizations, then you can use .org. If you are opening a website for commercial use, most of the time you use .com. If you are opening a website for maybe crypto or IT website, you can use .tech, .io, or as it may be. So we have a long range of top level domains that you can pick from. So if you come here, you will see example of such. You can see .com, you can see, let me check, .net. So for instance, let me register. And why we are coming to register a domain name is there must be a unique domain name on the internet. So it can point to the right hosting. So you can't have rcg.org and someone else will register rcg.org and point it to maybe jumia.com. So if I buy rcg.org, it's my own. I have the rights and it's valid. I mean, it's valid for a year. But you can decide to buy for like 10 years on the stretch. You can buy for 10 years, you can buy for 2 years, but the minimum you can buy is for a year. You can't buy a domain name for a month. Are we together?
Yeah.
So let's say I want to register rccg.org. Can you still see my screen?
Hello, I can hear you.
Can you hear me
I
now?
can hear you, sir. I can hear you, boss. I can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm saying, let's say I want to register rccg.org. I click on search. So I'm waiting for the results. So this site is going to tell me, there are a lot of sites. It's not only Namecheap you can use. There are so many. You can use GoDaddy, use Hostinga, a lot of sites to register. I'm just using this for this demo. Are we together? So you can see that it's telling me RCCG has been registered since 1997. That means it's taken. I can't use it. So I need to use something that is free. And for this domain name, you have to keep renewing it every year if you still need it. If not, someone else can buy this domain name after the expiry period. So if it's valid for 1 year, if you don't register it after that particular year, I mean the space of that 1 year, it will go through a grace period. After you don't renew after that grace period, it will be open on the internet for people to use. And one of the reasons why you should always renew your domain is now some people who are looking at this rcg.org and are waiting for it to expire before they can buy this name. So if you fail to renew, other people can buy it. They might not even use it. They might just put a price on it and resell it to you at maybe $2,000. So you can see, I was explaining top level domains. Example, the top level domain is ai.gg.org.xyz.info.io. So these are top level domains of a URL. So I can show you the picture of TLD for you to have a clearer view. Can you see this screen? Can you see it better now? Are we together?
Yes, sir, we can see clearly, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So the .com, .edu is what they call the top level domain. The domain itself is Google. This is an example of google.com. So when you see www, that's a subdomain. But this www is the default subdomain, so it points to the main website in most cases. So example of subdomain might be, you can see on our website we have resident.rcg.org. The resident is a subdomain. It's like you have a compound which you already point your domain name is, and you now have like a BQ, so you have like a car park, you have, so you can have so many things inside your hosting and point your domain name to it. I mean your subdomain names. So they still reside, they are still linked to the domain name, but you can point it somewhere else. Then the protocol is the HTTP or HTTPS. HTTP is the default protocol, but HTTPS is a secured, that means you are transmitting the data over a secured layer. So if you are sending over HTTP, it's like you just sending your messages or content to your client over a plain text. It's transparent. So if you send a password over this HTTP protocol, a hacker can maybe use a man-in-the-middle attack to intercept a password, which you don't want. Once you are dealing with sensitive information on your website, you need to buy SSL for you to be able to use HTTPS. For instance, if you allow people to pay on your website, maybe they have offerings, they are making payment for offerings, or you are selling books or anything e-commerce, you need to use HTTPS. And for you to use HTTPS, that means you need to buy SSL. I'm going to show you that in this demo as well. So explaining that, let's move forward. So rccg.org is now available. So all these top level domains have different prices. You can see .ai is $79 per year. .com is about $12 or $13. So it depends on what you want to buy. So let me just type any name so that I can make sure the .com domain is available. I'm still going to change it. So you can see that this name is available and the amount is $13.98. This is how much you are going to renew, but because Namecheap is doing the promo, so you can still get it for $9.58. But when you are renewing, you are going to renew at the original price. Is that clear? So I'm going to register another domain. So these domains, they have different prices. If you register a domain with .online, it's cheap. So you can see that the price for this domain name, if I'm using TLD of .online, is $1.88 per year. So you can decide to register your name .online, but if you are using for commercial use, nobody is mandating you to use any third level domain, but I'm saying it's recommended that if you are doing anything commercial, then you should have registered gramtutorials.com. But I don't want, because I'm just using this for demonstration, I'm going to pick something cheap. So let me do gramtutorials.online. Let me add it to cart. So you can see Namecheap is suggesting to me, if I want to use HTTPS on my website, I can also add SSL. Can you see it? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Emmanuel, is my audio okay now? All right, so we have options. You can see WordPress hosting, normal web hosting. These are offerings. You don't need to buy them together. They're just suggesting if you would like to buy them all together. So if you need to install SSL, you can buy SSL with it. Let me add SSL to cart. So that's for domain name. Because I don't have an account, if I click on checkout now, it's going to ask me to create an account. So let me first sign up with this website. I have accounts with them. I'm just showing you so that you can see the sign up process. So let me create a new account with them now. You can also create accounts with them from your end. It's free. You don't need to buy any. It's not a must. So you put your real name here. So then you click on create account and continue. So I'm logged into the account now. So you can see all the things I've added to my cart. So I added domain name, grant tutorials, the online. I added automatically added domain name privacy. Why you might need something like domain name privacy is if you register a domain, all your details, the details you had for admin information, can be seen by anybody. So some of these bots will crawl your email and start sending you spam emails from your email. So if you don't want that, you can also pay for domain name privacy. Namecheap will give you that for free, but for some hostings they might give you for maybe $2 per year. So I also added SSL. So this is just domain name. I'm telling you that it's going to be an address, a name easy to remember, where I can point people to when they go to this URL. If they type this URL, I can say, okay, point this URL to my web hosting. So we don't have a web hosting. Web hosting is where you are going to host content of your website. Like the WordPress itself is going to be installed on your web hosting. The images, your content, is all manner of content is going to reside on your web hosting. It's just like your local computer. Just like a local computer, but you need to point these people to their particular hosting. So we still need to get a normal web hosting. So let me go back to Namecheap homepage. So we have hosting here. We have WordPress hosting. The difference between the regular hosting and the WordPress hosting is we have a hosting optimized for WordPress. That means if you install your WordPress on a normal hosting server and you install it on a WordPress optimized hosting server, it's going to be extremely fast. They've optimized everything you will need to run a WordPress to make it faster, smoother, more secured. It's already on a WordPress hosting. So we have managed WordPress hosting as well. Which ones are expensive? Let me click on manage WordPress. So you can see it's just telling you the features now, but you can see for a month. Let me click for per month. You can pay as high as $12, $19 depending on the size you want. This is 100 gig storage. Yeah, they are assuming you have something equal or less than 500,000 visitors per month. So these are the configurations. So if you come to a regular hosting, let's say shared hosting. So what they mean by shared hosting is the one most people do. It's cheaper. They call it shared hosting because they are sharing your website with other people. It doesn't mean other people will have access to your website, but let's assume you want to pay for a house now. So if you buy a house, it's your house. If you buy a shared house, it's as if you are renting that particular apartment. So you can be in room 1, another person can be in room 2. The other person in room 2 does not have the key or access to room 1, so your content is still saved on the hosting. But if you want a space for yourself, for instance, RCCG or a reputable organization will not want a shared hosting, because shared hosting means you are sharing so many resources with the person. So if someone in room 2 is using too much space, it's going to affect the space left on your own server. So but it's cheaper. So many people go with, for instance, if you are running NGO or church, you won't want to be spending too much money on a website. So you want to pick like a shared hosting. So I'm going to click on shared hosting. Are you following? If you are following, type yes in the chat box. If you are lost, let me know so I can go back and explain. All right. So when we come to I clicked on share hosting. Shared hosting, you can see is way cheaper than the hosting we saw earlier. This one is saying you can host as much as 3 websites on this hosting. You can host this has 20 gig. So depending on the specifications that you want, you can pick the plan that you want to use. So I'm going to pick the cheapest plan now. So it's asking me if I want to register a new domain name or I want to use an existing domain name, because it's already seeing this domain name in my cart. It's already suggested it to me. So if I want to buy a new domain name, I will click here and search for the domain name is available. The same process we did earlier. if it's available or not. So let me use the one that we picked earlier. So this one, then I will add it to cart. So why it's asking me for the domain name is for you to provision the server and point this domain name to the hosting I'm buying with it, so that by the time I finish this payment now, by the time I finish making this payment, my website is already working and responding to, it's already receiving traffic from this domain name. I don't need to now start pointing it, but it's possible because from what we saw the other time on this hosting I'm paying for, I can add as many websites as possible. But for this plan, let's say 3 websites. So that means I can still register another domain later on without buying the hosting and still point it to this domain name. So let me confirm the order. Because it's a new account, it's going to ask me for so many informations, but let me just put something here. Job title. So it's asking me for my address. So it's asking me for admin address. It's going to show the same thing when people check the who is information. So let me proceed and make payment. So it's going to ask me for the mode of payment. Am I going to use a card? If you want to use your credit card, you can use your credit or debit card. If you have funds in your wallet, you can use, but I'm going to use PayPal. So I will check out with PayPal. I need to accept. So the payment is successful. The payment is successful, so I can go back. I have option to manage your domain name, the SSL I bought, because I want to use HTTPS, the hosting I bought as well. So let me just go back to the home page so I can. So on Namecheap, everything you buy is going to be in one of these sections. Is that you buy hosting, domain name. So if I click on domain name list, I'm going to see the domain names, all the domain names I have under this account. If you click on this expired, the first one here is going to show you domain name or hosting that is going to expire in the next, say, 1 month or 2 months, so that you can be alerted. They're also going to send a reminder to your email address. So for hosting as well, I bought hosting, so you're going to see the particular hosting here. I only paid for 1 month, so it's showing that this hosting is going to expire July 11th of July. So if you bought SSL certificate, if you click on SSL certificate, you're going to see it here as well. So going forward, I don't know if the domain name is ready now, because for you, if you buy domain name, sometimes it might not be ready on time because you just paid for it. They will just have to make provisions. Most of these things are automated, but they will just have to make provisions for it to be sure that it's live. So let me try to see if this is available. It's not yet reachable, so I might have to wait like few minutes more before it's available. So not to waste your time, I'm going to check back later and continue. Hosting should be ready by now, so I don't need to wait for the domain name to be ready before I access hosting. So let me go to cPanel. So cPanel is the control panel where you can manage your hosting details, and hosting information for this one you just bought will have been sent to your email address. So this is the hosting. So to install WordPress on this hosting, I bought this hosting. I'm just doing demo for WordPress. You can install anything on this website. If you have a WordPress, a normal website with PHP, this cPanel supports Python, any programming language, but we are focusing on content management system, which is WordPress at the moment. So if you have questions, you can raise your hand, so I can ask you to unmute. So because I'm not seeing questions in the comment section, I assume everybody is following and there are no issues. So you can see this first option here, app installer. You can use this to install WordPress. For the SSL you bought, you can use Namecheap SSL to install the SSL certificate you bought from Namecheap. If it's from another place, you can also use the SSL configuration that you can find in the menu below. So you can see SSL. So if you want to install any kind of SSL, you can buy it from any website. Okay, Mr. Joshua, you can unmute.
Good evening, sir. Thank you very much. We appreciate this. The question I just want to ask, though I joined the class late, I thought it's 8:30 initially. So I joined the class late. So the question I want to ask is this. What you are trying to do, I think what you are trying to do so far is, I just want to know, I want to confirm, to get a domain and hosting, right? That's what I just want to ask. Okay.
Yes.
On Namecheap.
Yes.
On Namecheap side.
Yes. You can use other websites, but we are using Namecheap for this demonstration.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So if you scroll down under software, you can also see WordPress Manager. So you can click on just WordPress Manager. So if you have existing WordPress installation, it's going to show you here. So let's assume you are installing a new software. You want to install WordPress afresh on a particular domain or subdomain. So I'm going to click on install. I showed you this one in the presentation we did in the conference. I'm just showing you again. So you can see that it's showing me the domain name I bought, because that's linked to this hosting. If it's not linked to this hosting, I can go back to my cPanel, come to domain names, and create a new domain. So when you create a new domain, you can see the existing one. You can add a new domain to this hosting. So let's just go back to WordPress Manager. So I'll click on install. I'll pick the domain name I want to install. So we have just this one we just bought, which is the gramtutorials.online. I will scroll down. You have to put a name. Let me leave it as default. The domain, the name of your website, the description of your website, the username you want to use. So let me just use gram user as the username. And for password, I'm going to use gram at password so that we can log in and so you put the administrative email. Then if you want to install a countdown, I told you that you can install some default themes so that by the time you finish installing your website, that's what you will see. So let me click on this countdown. Then I'll click on install. So in less than 3 minutes, this installation will be done and we'll be able to access the website. That's if the domain name is ready. So the installation is complete. So this is the URL, the Gram tutorials we bought. And to manage it for WordPress, let me mute this person. So to manage WordPress website, like I showed you on the screen, I think it was the first night, Then you go to Gram Tutorials, your website, whatever your website is, /wp-admin. The domain name is not yet ready, so we can't use that now. So let's give it some time for the domain name we just bought to propagate. So to continue this training, so let me just give you from the moment, from this spot at the installation sequence. So we can just continue from there and continue our demonstration. So let me go to another hosting. I already created a demo hosting. So I want to install this WordPress on a URL called, let's say, group3.equalsite.com. Let me use the username group3. Password group3.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you.
My hand has been raised since it's like you didn't see.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't looking at the. So go ahead, sir.
I want to just get clarity. So what we've been doing so far, the process in which you made payment, even using PayPal, is this all demo?
No, I paid for it, but I'm just showing you in case, let's say you want to do it from your end. That's why I'm going through this process for you.
So,
because I'm going to upload like the recording in case you want to do it from your end.
okay, so what you did, even using the PayPal, was real.
Yes.
So that you actually paid to create this particular domain.
Yes.
Okay. I thought it's the demo thing that we're doing. Okay. Thank you.
So this website is real. If you want to buy domain name, this is where you will come to. There are other websites. We have some websites like GoDaddy, we have Google Host, we have so many other websites that you can use. I'm just using this for you to see like the whole process. I want us to, what we'll be doing going forward should be what we started or created from scratch in this training. So we set up another hosting for group 3. So I already created subdomains for group 1, group 2, group 3 for this training. So I'm going to post the login on the chat. So from your end, you can log in and just follow through whatever I'm doing with from my end. I just posted the link on the chat. So this is for group 1, the same for group 2. I'm copying for group 2 too. So you can just pick, like you can pick a group and join, because I don't want us to, as you are working on it, I don't want us to be overwriting what we are doing. So I posted logins for group 1, 2, and 3. Can we all see it? You asked about setting up offline. We can do that if we still have time. Or should we do that before we go to the training? Setting up offline is a long, it's not long, but it's going to take a longer time because you have different configuration on your system. Some are using Windows 10, Windows. The configuration requirement might be different. So there will be issues like this one is not working as this on my laptop. So we have to attend to each of the, everyone installing those things. So we can add it to, we can do it now. If you want us to do it now, just raise a, let's take a vote. We can do it before we proceed. Installing on your local laptop. So I'm going to give you URL to the softwares you will install on your system that will make your system work like a server. So instead of us buying hosting online, buying domain name, you can set all those ones up on your system and test it. The only difference is you are the only one that can see everything on your website. People from outside cannot get a domain name to view it on your laptop. So that's why you prefer to host it online. But advantage of you hosting it on your system is if you don't have internet, you can still continue building your website. When your website is okay, you can now decide to upload it to the to buy hosting and upload it online. So that's just the difference. So you might need to also install it on your laptop if you want to play around with it, especially when you're just learning now. So you might not want to buy hosting. You might want to just develop everything on your website and be seeing it, watch different tutorials and experiment on your local system without paying any dime. So Mr. Kayode, you said everything I'm doing is like magic. Please explain now. Because that's why I'm going through this setting up from scratch. I could have continued from where we stopped. Is there any part you would like me to repeat? You can unmute and talk. Yes, this meeting is being recorded.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. I joined the meeting around 8:10. I joined around 8:04 before, but around 8:10 you started. And then when you started, just because I was not with any system in front of me, I was just trying to do catch up. So the whole process was just looking like a magic. So as it is now, there are some of us, maybe we've left so many years ago, and we are interested. Actually, I'm interested. I want to know this thing, and I know that it is doable. I know that I can know it.
Yes.
I know I can know it. And in fact, as a matter of fact, I'm sitting there in front of my laptop now. It is looking at me, I'm looking at it, and then it got looking at it, miracle want to happen.
So what are you looking at in front of your laptop? Are you on Namecheap or
In fact,
you're
I just
on
on the
Group One
laptop.
demo site?
So now trying to maybe looking for the word that you say, that will now prompt me to go to where I think I can. Yes, something on
We've
that.
gone through those. If you check the chat, you will see the website, the URL we posted online. I mean, while we're going through this training. So the Namecheap, you can go to namecheap.com. That's the website we bought. That's the website we went to buy domain name and hosting. So you can see it in the chat. I'm going to repost it in the chat now. So if you have access to internet, you can also go to the website. So that's the same place where we bought the hosting and the domain name. And the domain name is now active. I just saw that it's now active. So I'm posting the domain name we bought now in the chat as well. So this was the domain name we bought. And we also bought hosting and linked the... But there's going to be a recording. So everything you've missed, you can when you have the video, you can pause, follow along, then continue. If there's any issue, you can also chat any of the admins or post the issues and the screenshots in the chat. I mean in the group chat for the CMS. So one of the admin will be able to attend to you as well.
Okay, sir.
But you can also join. Where we are now is that we already bought the domain name, we already bought the hosting. So we have the domain name now, that's gramtutorials.online. But I also created a domain WordPress installation.
Okay.
That I've already installed. That was what I was showing the last time. I installed this group 3 the last time, which was the same thing I did.
Okay.
So I'm going to log in as each of these groups to be sure that the website is working, and I'm going to install the themes so that we're on the same page. So that I'm not doing magic. Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Our domain name is active, so that means I can
Sorry, hello.
I can go to... Yes, I'm with
Hello,
you.
sir.
Yes, I'm
Can I
with you, sir.
quickly what is the difference between domain name and then hosting? I thought it's the same.
Okay. No, they are not. So hosting is where you host your website. I mean the data of your website. Like you want to install WordPress, you have pictures you want to upload online, you have like a tutorial. That's hosting. Hosting is like a computer, just like your personal computer, like your PC on your system, where you save your Word document, your PowerPoint, picture of your let's say wedding picture, birthday pictures. That's a system on its own. So hosting is simply like you are renting a computer on the internet, because you have your computer, it's only accessible to you. But for it to be accessible to everybody, what is accessible to everybody is the internet. So you need to rent a system on the internet. That's what simply what hosting is. It's like the house where you put all your things on the internet. That's hosting. So domain name, there are so many houses on the internet. I mean, there are so many hosting on the internet. To locate your particular website, you need to buy a domain name that is easy for people to remember,
So it's,
just like
it's like your
rccg.org.
your system or your system on the internet.
Yes, that's hosting. Your system on the internet is the hosting. The domain name aspect now is the name you will buy, just like rccg.org, that people can you can share with people, so that when they type it on their website or on their mobile phone, it will direct them to your system on the internet.
Okay, when they search.
Yes.
Okay. And
So both of them go hand in hand.
okay. Then at the time you were saying wanted to buy WordPress, you were on a particular page that displayed tools, and you had mentioned that there's like so many app or thereabout that we can use to buy WordPress. Are you following?
I'm lost. Is it the
Not
same
this,
page?
not this page.
Namecheap.
Not this page. When you were about to buy the
This page.
not this. Not this place.
Okay.
Where
Go ahead, sir.
The heading
cPanel.
was tools, and then there are so many apps that were like in a box that was set there. I was wondering if
Is it this page?
those tools need to
Your line is breaking. Can you hear me? I assume he's talking about the cPanel. If it's not the Namecheap, then it has to be the cPanel. But I think it's no longer online. So when it's online, we can just go back to that aspect and walk through it.
Okay, don't. Maybe let's just go
Are
on.
you back
Maybe
online?
yes, there was an internet network break. Let's go on. I think.
Okay.
We'll get back.
So I'm going to go back to, I want to go through that
Hello,
aspect now. So let's go back to the hosting. So I'm going to the cPanel now. This is the page I think you are talking about. Just hold on. It's going to come up now. This page, right? Was it this page?
Yes, this is the page I'm talking about.
Where I say you can, okay. So this is the cPanel. So most of the times, this cPanel will come with your hosting. If you buy a website on your, or if you buy a PC, let's say if you buy a hosting on the internet, they will give you this tool. It's called cPanel, control panel, where you can use it to install anything you want. Yes, so you can use it to install anything you want on your hosting. So I'm just saying one of the things you can install is WordPress. You can see WordPress here. There is Joomla. You can install anything. You can even upload a static website on it. So it depends.
Hello, sir.
So-
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
The cPanel, is it another website on its own?
No, this cPanel has to be is linked to your web hosting, the website hosting you
because
bought.
I'm on
So I just bought it.
Namecheap now.
Go ahead. Okay. You won't see cPanel because you are here to buy a domain.
Okay, sir.
The cPanel I clicked on, I already bought domain name and hosting.
Yes, sir.
So I went to my hosting, and whenever you pay for hosting, it's going to send you an email address, email with the credentials to the server, where you can use to log into your cPanel. Are we together?
Yes.
So because of the, I made payments earlier, so they've already given me access to my own hosting. So that was why I click on go to cPanel. So it will bring you here. If you have a particular hosting, you have cPanel access to it. So it's under that cPanel you can do installation like WordPress. I can even check the file manager to see like the folders on my system. On the system I bought on the internet.
Okay.
So you can see I have folders for email. This is the WordPress I installed. So you can see the files of the WordPress here. So I was saying that you can install so many things through this control panel. For instance, you can set up email address. So if you have this email address, if you have, let's say, rccg.org or grams, like for instance, we have gramstutorial.com, you can create email address, which is going to be like info@gramstutorial.online. So whatever website, you can also create domain name, email address for those domains. But this can only be done on your hosting if you've paid for a particular hosting. Are we together? Is that clear, sir?
Yes.
Then earlier I now went under my cPanel, I clicked on WordPress. You can click on it here. You can click on it by the side, which is WordPress Manager. You can just search for WordPress. When you click on WordPress, it's going to show you all the existing installation of WordPress that you have, and you can install a new WordPress or uninstall an existing WordPress or manage a WordPress. So this was the one we installed. I installed WordPress on this Gram tutorials that we just bought, which is what is accessible on the domain name now. Are we together?
Okay.
If you want me to repeat the installation, I can uninstall the WordPress. Let me uninstall the WordPress and continue from the cPanel now. So I've come to my hosting. I'll go to cPanel. cPanel you might not need to come to this aspect if you want to go to cPanel. If I go and check the email address that was sent to me from my hosting.
But, sir, meaning that, hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So, meaning that whether we like it or not, we have to pay for a domain before and we'll be given a access to cPanel before we can.
Before you can
Hello,
what?
sir.
I'm with you.
Before we can register, maybe register WordPress or anything, meaning that we have to pay for it for a domain and have access to cPanel.
Oh, well, not necessarily. You remember the demo we did in the conference that you can come to this URL. I'm going to paste it on the chat now, wordpress.com. The demo we did, we didn't pay for anything. So I'm pasting it in the chat now. So if you go to wordpress.com, let me log out. That was what we did the other day, where we created an account for free without buying those things. It asks us for the plan we want to choose. We chose the free plan. I don't know if you remember this website. That you saw the option to skip to dashboard. If you don't want to pay for hosting and you still want your website to be accessible online, so you can follow this model. Go to wordpress.com, create a free account. So it's going to ask you, do you have hosting or domain name? It's going to ask if you have the domain name. Click on I don't have a domain name. So it's going to create a subdomain for you. Maybe pastorkayode.wordpress.com. So it's going to be like a subdomain of WordPress. It's not going to be something you have cPanel access to. you're just going to have access to this kind of screen. I don't know if you remember, everybody followed through in the class the other time. Can you remember this screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that was the one I showed you, that if you don't want to buy hosting, you can go through this method. But if you want to buy hosting, it's the method I'm showing you now.
And then you can still use it to interface with people.
Yes.
So this one that you
I
sent
use it to interface with people.
Okay.
at Province 20.
So for instance, this was a domain name that was created because I created a free account.
Okay.
So I can't use
But this one is not at the
magnetofpeace.com
region.
because I'm using it as a subdomain. So it's giving me a subdomain, which is magnetofpeace.wordpress.com, because I'm using a subdomain. So if you share this domain with people, they will see your website. Anything you've designed on this website, they will see it without you having to buy hosting or pay for domain name. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, if you have a church or
What
a
again
ministry
is the limitation?
Are you going to
Between
call
you-
Pastor Shola for us or what?
So, what's the
Let's see what
limitation
you
now
can do
in this
between now and
free one and then the one you buy?
the limitation you have is because you don't have a branded name. For instance, instead of using magnetofpeace.com, if you want to use it on this same place without buying hosting, you will need to buy a domain name first and link it to this WordPress for free. That means you are not buying hosting, you're only buying the domain name. But the limitation with that is you don't have a control panel to it. You can't manage the server. You can only install on the WordPress installation that they've given you. So on the WordPress installation they've given you as well, why they made it free is because they disabled some functionalities of WordPress on it. So for you to access more functionalities, you might need to upgrade. Like there's a plan, they have another plan maybe for $14 per month. So you end up paying if you want to use the full functionalities. But if you just need to maintain a website, a small website, you don't want to pay any money, you can use this site. So, but if you want to have full access without restriction to your WordPress website, then you need to buy a domain name and hosting. So there are cheap hostings. They are ridiculous. I mean, there are cheap hostings. You can get hosting as low as say 2,000 naira per month. Some is 500 naira per month. Those ones might not be advisable because the security on it might not be as that strong. I don't know if you are with me. You can still buy domain name. Domain name that you are buying is going to be charged per year. So if you are paying say $10 per month per year, it's going to last you for a whole year. Then the one I showed you while I was registering, I bought a domain name .online because online is so cheap. Online is like $1.98. So if you don't want to spend expensive money on domain name, you can pick a top level domain that doesn't cost much. Because if I want to buy this same domain name with .com, I'm going to pay like $13 or $14 per year. So it's just what the advantage is, it gives you full branding. And people coming to your website will see it as more professional websites, that you have a name that is carrying what you do and it's not like a subdomain, and you can customize it to the full extent. The free WordPress domain, if you go to wordpress.com, if you don't upgrade it to the paid version, you won't be able to install a custom theme, which I'm still going to talk about. A theme is what will give you because you are learning, we are trying to teach you how you can design a powerful website, a beautiful website, without knowing how to do basic programming like HTML, CSS. So what can amplify your website and give you all you need is the power of you installing a custom theme. So you can get a free theme or buy a professional theme and use it on your website. If you are using the free version of WordPress, you might not have access to that. Another option for free, if you don't want to buy hosting and domain name, is if you install it locally on your laptop. There are free softwares you can install on your laptop like WAMP, XAMPP, on your own personal system that will turn your system to a hosting server. So you can install WordPress on your laptop, I mean your local laptop that is with you that you are looking at now, and configure and design your website for free without paying for hosting. So the limitation of that one as well is that people on the internet cannot access your URL. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, because it's available on your own personal system alone. For it to be accessible to people on the internet, you need to buy a hosting so that you can transfer everything you've done on the internet. Mr. Samuel, I'm with you. You can speak, Mr.
Yeah,
Samuel.
yeah, thank you very much. God bless you. Please, I want
Yes,
to also buttress the point of my brother that spoke ahead of me. You know, many of us left school over 30 years ago, and we are like just trying to grasp most of the things we are saying now. Please, I want to plead, if it is possible for you, is there a way you can, enumerate or by just pen down this thing one by one, how we can, from the grassroots, how we can, assess the whole process to the point of achieving our purpose on this particular training. Because ever since I joined now, it's like most of the things seems like magic, like the other way the other speaker spoke. So I wouldn't know, sir, if there is a way. I know it's going to be somehow cumbersome or stressful, but is there a way you can just help some of us out? So by just writing them down one step after the other, so that by the time we hold our systems, either by our laptops or our Android, we'll be able to follow the way you have written them down. That's my plea, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So write it down. You mean I should go through it again, or I should
No,
come up
not
with a
today, not
document
tonight.
that
You can go
I will
on with
post on
what
the
you are
group?
saying. Subsequently,
Okay.
you can just help out so that you post it on our platform, so that anybody can, so we can go through the whole process like that.
All right. That's what we agreed we are going to do. This video I started from the beginning, and I also posted the URL. So I'm going to just elaborate and maybe, if possible, cut it into small pieces. Then if I need to explain more in some sections, I can re-record that section and upload it on the group for people to watch. So while editing it as well, I will try and put the URL on the screen. So if you are watching the video, you will also see the URL on the screen so that you can type it and follow along. I will do that and post it on the group site.
Thank you. God bless you, sir.
Yes, sir. Any other question before we move forward?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Due to the process of all this software, I believe that not everybody that are here that have access to PC. So my question here is that are this software also um approved by the Android or the phone version, like the smartphone version?
Yes.
Are they
Yes,
they are
these are
supported?
just websites. Yes, they are supported. So if you type this URL, any of this URL on your phone, you can just follow
I mean
along.
the I,
It's the
I mean
same
the
thing. You can
I mean
access
the
them.
software you talk about to download that will grant access to free hosting.
The one I mentioned for WordPress.com is accessible, but the one that I said you are going to turn your laptop to a hosting server,
Yes.
that one cannot be done on a phone because you can't install it on Android. If you have a MacBook, Linux, PC, it can work, but on
It
mobile,
doesn't work.
it can't. It won't work on mobile.
Thank you.
Any other question before we move forward? Okay, so I came back to
Hello, sir.
this dashboard to show you. Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
with you.
please one more question before I allow you to continue. Like if somebody wants to create like a landing page, is this gonna is a free version available, or is it a must that you must pay to create a landing page? Because I'm into a system where I mainly work on landing page. So is this something we can also do with the WordPress and the Namecheap?
Yes, it's something you can do as well. You don't need to. I don't get what you mean by do you need to pay. What I mean by is something you can do for free is once either you are, let's assume you are not paying for hosting, or maybe you are paying for hosting. I'm talking about the design now. The landing page is now, that has nothing to do with hosting.
Okay.
It has something to do like you already have your website installed, your WordPress, you can access it either locally or online, and you want to set up a landing page. There are free themes. You know, in the last class I mentioned that there are free themes, there are premium themes that you need to pay for. So there are free themes that you don't need to pay for that can help you achieve this, that you can use to set up a landing page. And to reduce the stress, I'm going to give you like a theme that is paid, but I'm going to give you for just tutorial purpose. If you need it, you go and buy it, but I'm going to give you so that you can install it freely on your system and use it to develop whatever you want to develop.
All right, sir.
And why I said you might sometimes need a free theme, if you go on WordPress now and search for themes, you will see a lot of free themes. Even if you Google online free themes for WordPress, you will see a lot, and you can specify I need free themes for landing pages. They are going to send you links to where you can download. And from the tutorial I'm going to show you how you can search within WordPress and install free themes, or upload a theme from your laptop. Maybe you downloaded it somewhere else, but you have to make sure that you're downloading it from a secure place, because if you go and download free theme from people, from hackers, some hackers might bait you. I know that you're looking for something free. If you download free things from them and upload it on your website, they can from there hijack your website. So that's why you have to make sure it's from a secure source. So the advantage of you buying a theme is because there are developers who have stressed themselves to give you options for designs that are so neat and clean and up to date. So if you want to appreciate them and save yourself stress, yes. But if you want to go through the procedure of saying, okay, let me add this, is also something you can do without coding. Most of them is just with drag and drop or installing a third-party plugin.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Any other question?
The ones that you say
Alright.
these developers.
Okay,
Sorry, are you with me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes,
I'm with you.
the ones that you say that developers have done that they've taken time to. Hello.
Yeah, I'm with you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I said the ones that you said that you said that they are developing professional.
The line is breaking. We can't really hear you.
Is it system or domain? Have they also included the issue of security into their own development?
So I assume what you're asking is the ones
Did you
that
get the
developers developed that do. Yeah, I want to repeat the question because you were breaking in between. So you are saying that the teams that developers have, maybe they've developed that, is there security embedded into it? Are they safe? Was that the question?
Hello. Your line is breaking.
You are asking if the teams, the premium teams developed by this, I mean,
Yes.
the premium teams, if they are safe, right?
Yes. Yes. Because you said you
So
said that
I'm going to give
you
you.
were saying that if you take the cheap ones, that it's easy for hackers to, get that. But this one, so those ones that are developed by these
Well,
developers,
I'm not
is it more
talking about.
secured?
Yeah. To an extent, it's secured. So, for instance, on the last time I shared the website, teamforest.net, which I'm putting the URL back in the chat section. So this is a place where you can buy premium themes. You can see some things for $4, some as high as, it depends on how much the developer wants to sell it or the company wants to sell it. So free themes, I'm not saying free themes are not secure, but these people developing free themes are doing it to just contribute to the open source community. They're just trying to make it available for people who might not be able to afford to buy a theme. So I'm not obliged to update it. Are we together? So let's assume that I developed this theme 2 years ago, and maybe the WordPress has evolved, and because of security reasons, they said everybody should upgrade to the latest version. Some developers already forgot that they developed it, but they are not maintaining it. But most of the people doing premium themes, they have responsibility to be maintaining it and make sure it's up to date and it's complying to that it will comply with the latest version of WordPress. Then if there are any vulnerabilities that they know, they will quickly send an update and patch it. So on your WordPress dashboard, you will see the option that you have a pending update. Even WordPress, if there's any vulnerability in WordPress, you will see on dashboard that there's an update. So that they are adding a new feature or there's an update they've added. So those people still have a team which is also providing support and maintaining their team, because it's a paid service. But for free, it doesn't mean free is 100%. It doesn't mean they are developing. What I'm saying about the other one is, let's say there's a free team, there's a premium team now that they are selling on Team Forest for $14. You now went to Google that you want to download it. Some people might say, oh, instead of you buying it for $14, it's free. Come and download it here. Some hackers use that trick so that they can infect as many as possible systems. So you don't want to pay $14. You saw it for free, though you know that the person was selling it. This person said, I can give you for free. It's possible that those people have injected some things or some code in the team that immediately you upload it or install it on your website, they can have access to your website. I'm just saying. But when we get to a level maybe further in this, maybe in another class or maybe 2 classes from now, it's possible we'll now talk about, let's even say you even install professional teams. There are some advanced security measures you are supposed to also take, which I will also walk you through. Is that clear, sir?
Yes, yes.
Mr. Joshua,
Okay.
go ahead, sir.
I still want to ask question on that thing and plugins, themes and plugins.
Yes.
If you design your site offline on your local server,
Yes.
and you are enjoying the use of, you are just using different plugins, you install different plugins on it, what will happen if you want to install it on the server, online server? What will eventually happen? What will you do about it?
I will advise that when you are, well, that's what I will walk you through, because when you are installing on your local server, you are going to install the latest version, right? So if you want to move online, you have no issue, because when you are migrating your website online, you are going to migrate both the database and your website, which includes your plugin, the plugin you've installed online, and the theme you've installed online. That's one of the way you can migrate it online. Another way, but if you are thinking of migrating just the content, then you will now start installing online. If you want to start installing it online too, it's possible. If it's free offline, you downloaded the free theme offline, definitely it's going to be free online. You moving it to a paid hosting doesn't make those themes paid or plugins paid. If a free plugin is free, whether you are installing it locally on your system or online. So if you bought a theme now, let's say you bought a theme or you have a theme and you've installed it locally. If you are doing a whole app migration online, let me say you zipped your whole website, you moved it to your new hosting, exported your database, import it, it's still going to work the same way it's working on your local server. So your free theme is still going to be free when you move to the internet.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Any other question? Okay, do we all have access to the login details I posted in the group? I posted for login details for group 1, group 2, group 3. I just created it as group 1, group 2, group 3, but you can log in to any of them to follow along with the WordPress. I will also log into the one we paid for now, which is what's it called? Which is the gramtutorials.online. So before I go in, since we said some things about themes, I posted the link to Team Forest. There are so many places where you can get themes, but this is like the largest library that I know of. So if you go to Team Forest, this is the landing page. Can we all see my screen? Type in the chat box if you can see my screen so I can proceed. Type yes. Okay. You can search for anything. So you can see there are some segments here. You can see There are so many templates you can download there, but we want to focus on WordPress. So you can see WordPress here. So in the WordPress section, you can search for magazine, but let me just leave that. So let's say I need a theme for a church. I can say church theme and put WordPress. I can put in WordPress. I can put WordPress. Let me put WordPress. So it's going to show me list of themes for WordPress. So if I come here now and say I want to check, instead of before you buy, you have access to check what the website will look like. So if I click on this live preview now, it's going to take me to the website that will show me how the website will look like. So if I want to buy a theme, things I will need to check out, I want to check out for is, I have a design in my mind. Maybe if you don't have, you can just look for a theme that you think it has a good UI, like a good look for you to use. But if you don't have any preference, you can just pick anyone. So let me view this demo. Let me click on, let me click on this one. So you can preview the website before paying for it. So it's going to show you how it's going to look like, the logo of the church, the about us. Under about us, you have mission, statement of faith, services, new year for convert, connect, ministries, sermons, events. So why you might need to get a team, it might be free, it might be new, is that you don't want to start from scratch, to start building each page one after the other. So if you buy a team, you can have this kind of design and just edit it to suit your website. Maybe you can change the logo to your RCCG logo or your church logo. Under ministry, if you click on ministries, you can come and edit the ministry. They have children ministry, ladies ministry. Yours might be different. It might be children's ministry, men's ministry, maybe women ministry, and you can delete other ones that are not relevant to you. So that's that. So you can see theme for giving. Some we already have plugin for donation. You might not use this donation. You will not get a team that will do everything you want most of the time. You are just going to get a team that will do most of the work you want to do. Then you will now edit it. So for this donation now, I might click on it and it might take me to PayPal. PayPal is not a way you can use to accept payments in Nigeria because we have dollar restrictions, and your PayPal account in this area, let's say in Nigeria, cannot receive funds. So you might want to install plugins. Thankfully, most of these plugins will be free. Maybe you want to integrate Paystack, InterSwitch, GTPay to your website. So you can go to WordPress for free, search the library of plugins and install them and configure them for your use. So those things might not come with this theme, because the professional that is designing it doesn't have time to go and check all the payment gateway available. But the thing they will do is they will make sure that it's compatible with all those other plugins. Are we together? So that's just one of the benefits of themes. So if we're not talking about church, there's one theme I'm going to give you for church, is blessing. I'm going to show you the theme. You to see the demo. So why I like this blessing is because it's not common, it's not casual. So that might be one of the things you might want to look at when you are getting a team for your church or for your business. So because we are talking about content management, we might not restrict it only to churches. So I'm going to show you another theme for other things. So you can see that here you have this one is more like, it has a friendly and interactive UI than the former one. You have a program and you can do a countdown to maybe your 7 nights of praise and say we have 180 days to go, 2 days to go, community, church mission, events, or these are sermons. Maybe you can say watch the last sermon. People can come to your website. So if you check the theme, you can pick the one
No
that
final
is
de
more
semana, no
suitable
domingo.
or that fits what you want to do. So you can have blog posts or articles about, maybe blog posts like devotionals or from the pastor's desk, the gallery of your church. Maybe they have a special event. So those are the things you will look at when you want to get a team. So these are part of the things that a professional or a premium team will have done for you. So now all you need to do is just to edit, change the pictures, delete the sections you don't want, duplicate some sections that you want to add to it without you coding. Are we together? Okay. So another theme that I will also share with you, the themes I'm giving you, I'm giving you themes that that will allow you to see the power of WordPress. Someone can design a website in WordPress and you say, what is this? It's because the design might not be looking so good, because we are assuming that you don't have knowledge of CSS. CSS is what is used to beautify a website. So I'm going to give you a theme that has good CSS, good UI, so that even if you don't know anything about those things, it will still go. So another one I'm going to give you is Flux. This is a premium theme, sell it for $39, but I'm going to give you, for the purpose of this tutorial, for free. So if you go to Flux and check the demo, you can see that this theme alone, if the person decides to sell it for $1,000, is worth it. Because this developer, I believe they are a team of developers, they've taken their time to design 200 plus UI templates. I mean scenarios that you can use a website for. So if you scroll down, you will see a design for corporate, for business, for agency, that is for electronic workshop. Let me open this. Freelancer, if you're a freelancer, if you want to sell something in your shop, if you are doing 3D design, if you have a mobile app and you want to create a landing page, let me open this. So before I go far, let's check those demos. So this is a shop, a store where you sell electronics. So you can see that these people already designed most of the websites. You can see how beautiful looking they are. So that's the work of this premium team. But you can also buy a team more expensive than this and they don't have this kind of demo that you can import. So this demo now, when you install a team, you can import them to your website directly. So as it is here, it's going to be imported to your system, to your website. You just have to edit the, let's say, the devices you want to sell, the categories and all those things. So I opened another demo for I think, which one is this? Maybe for, okay, mobile app. So let's assume that you have a mobile app you want to display. This is what this website is about, showing you the features of the app, the icons or demo of the phone, how it will look like on Android, how it will look at. So these are the benefits of getting a team with several demos, because all these things will have been designed there for you. You just need to come here, change the content inside the phone. You can have maybe all these free designs on Canva or download. There's a site that can even develop logo for you for free. So this demo, we have a lot of things for your business. If you want to do events, if you want to sell books, if you want to host a magazine, so all they have over to say, this is for a photographer. If you like, they have so many demos, professional looking demos. So this is part of the team I will also give to you for you to practice. This is another kind of e-commerce store. So if you go, so they've already grouped them into businesses, shops, services, blogs, if it's a food website or agricultural website, makeup, beauty website. So they might have as so many demos available for you to use, but they don't come with the website as well. So those are premium things, but I don't want you to spend money. I will also provide links where you can download, upload from your end. So I'm going to do a walkthrough now, because for the purpose of this class, because it's going to be recorded. So the URL we registered the other time is gramtutorials.online. So you can as well follow along with the URL I gave you. I gave you login to group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. You're going to see the same thing there, because I'm starting from scratch. So for you to see that, so for you to get what I'm saying, for you to manage this website, if it's a WordPress website, you need to add this at the back. It's /WP admin. It's already in the URL that I sent to you. If you check, there are two URLs. You will see group3.equalsite.com, then you will see group3.equalsite.com /WP admin. So that's the site that will give you access to edit the website. So I want you to see something now. You can see that I'm only seeing the website now. By the time I log in to the admin, I will be able to see some other tools above this website that will allow me to edit. So let me go to the URL now. So it's asking me to log in with my username and password, which was the username and password that I set when I was doing it on the cPanel for you to see. So I use gram user, I use gram password. Let me uninstall and install because I can't remember the exact password I used the other time. So I'm going to go to WordPress Manager. This is an opportunity for you to see if you didn't follow along the other time. So I'll first delete this WordPress installation and install another one. So I'm removing this installation now. So let me go back to the WordPress management. Install a fresh copy of WordPress. So I'm installing it on gramstutorial.com. If I have other domain names, I'm going to select from them here. So if you can set the site title, the description of the website, the username. So I'm going to use gram user. For the password, I will use this so that I can remember. So if I want to install maybe some default free themes, I can do that here. So I can check them here, but it's not all the cPanel that will give you option for this. So let me just do this. Let me pick this dental care for free. It's a free theme. So let me click install. So installing WordPress will take like 3 minutes or less. Then you can access your website from there. The installation is complete. So I can go to the website by going to this URL, that's gramstutorial.online. You can see the theme I installed. It came with the website just like that. So all I just need to do, I didn't design this, it's part of the theme. So I can come here and edit, change the address, change the phone number, change whatever I want to change, and the website is ready. That's how fast it can be. So this one is a free theme, so it's not all free. So there are some free themes that are good looking as well. So you see the contact us page. We can just come here and edit everything that is here. To log into the WordPress admin, then I'll go to gramstutorial.com/wp-admin. So is anyone following along with the demo URL I put here? Are you following along? You know, I created some demo URL for you to log in and just test along with me. Okay. So like I explained in the last meeting, we explained what a post is. Media library is what we host all your content. So if I click on media library now, let me check. Because I imported the demo, it's possible that demo imported some things in my media library. So the website you are seeing, because I installed a free theme, the free theme installs some things in my library. Those are the pictures you are seeing in the front end here. If I go back to the website, let's check for this picture. So this is the picture. So you can see that all the pictures that your website is going to use, they are going to be in this library. There might be videos. You can see this is a video. There might be videos, there might be whatever you want to host. You can come here and put them here. So to add a content to your library, you can come to add, then drag a picture or whatever you want to drag into this place, and it's going to appear in your library. So let me drag one picture here. So let me drag this picture here. So it's going to upload it on my website and I can use it from there. So it's uploading right now. So depending on the size of the picture, it might take time. So this is the picture I just uploaded. So it took a while because it was 3 MB. So I can delete this picture. You can see the option here, delete permanently. I can download this picture. I can also edit this picture on the media library. Maybe I want to crop this side by way. I can do all those things in the media library. So let me move on. So pages is where you will see, let me click on all pages. This is where you will see all the pages of your website, like the about us, home page, services, contact us, the things you are seeing here. All those things will be available under your page section, the pages. Are we together?
Yeah.
If you have, okay. So for themes, you can come to themes section. Under appearance, you will see themes. So you can come to appearance, go to themes. For plugins, you will see plugins. Then you can install your plugins. We will still come back there. Then we have users. So because I created the user now, I created the user while installing. That's the only user we have now. But I can also create more users. Why do you need to create users? Because this is a content management system. That means the content of your website can be managed easily. You don't need a webmaster to say this is the person that bought the domain, that's the only person that can update the website. You can create a new user and give the person additional role. Maybe you can say this person is an editor. That means this person cannot create anything on my website but can only edit. We can create a contributor, author. That means this person can only edit a post or create a page. Maybe you have a devotional. You can create a specific role for each of the users that when they log in, the role you've assigned to them is the capacity they can operate. So if I create someone as an editor, the person cannot go to my teams and go and delete or disable teams. Only an administrator can do that. So that's why that's one of the benefits of content management system. So if you have tools where you can import elements, like import content from a particular website, if it's a WordPress website, and import it to this site. If you also want to export, I can go to export and export all my pages or all my media content and download them into a file. So by the time I import it on the other site, it will work. So let's go back to themes. So if I come to themes now, under appearance, I click on themes. Are we on the same page? Do I need to repeat anything I've said?
You're on the same page.
Okay. So if I come to themes now, we were talking about free themes earlier. So you can see some free themes. So if you need more, you can come to add new. So under add new, if you have, maybe you purchased the theme or you downloaded the free theme, then you come to upload themes. If not, you can search for a free theme here. You can see this box for search themes. So I can say landing page. So it's searching the library. If there's anything that has landing in it, it's going to return it as part of the results. So you can see option classic landing page, builders landing page, whatever you want to use. So let me install landing page for builders. These are free themes. So let me just install this one because someone asked question about landing page now. Do you need to buy a theme? I said no. So let me install this for builders landing page. I've installed the theme. So for it to show in the front end, I need to activate the theme. Even though I've installed the theme, if you come back and refresh, you will still see that is still the theme, the formatting that is there. So I need to come here and activate the theme. Activating the theme is telling the system that this is what you want to use for your website. So if I come here and refresh now, you can see that the landing page is using is still the demo landing page, but the color has changed. Because what theme is about is just the UI for that theme. So if you now go back to your pages, you can see that it's asking you that it's recommended that you install the following plugins for this theme to work. So you click on begin installation. You can install both of them. So I'm going back to the plugin dashboard. I'm going to activate them. So this contact form 7 that is installing is a form to help you manage maybe mails that people want to send to you from your website. When people go to contact us, just let me mute. When people go to contact us, this contact form is what we handle the contact request. Are we together? So if I activate the contact form, you are going to configure it to put your email there, that if people go to contactus.com and fill in the form, it's going to send the information to your email address. So this RARA one-click importer is most likely going to be what you can use to import the themes, the files of the theme to your website. So let me first activate these plugins. So I've activated it. Let me go to tools. So you can see the RARA theme importer now. So we need to locate this theme importer, because that will be what we import the content of the website to our website. So most of the time for themes, it might be under tools, it might be under appearance. So you can see it under appearance now. So this is a theme I'm using for the first time, but the installation procedure is still going to be the same. So it's asking you before you install, these are the requirements that your hosting server must meet. So demo import is what I want to do. So this one still need you to buy some things anyway. So let me click on import demo now. So it's asking me that, it's telling me that I've not yet followed the instructions in the demo, which is, that means I have to read the documentation. This one is going to be a long thing actually, but this is the instruction. You have to go to documentation, click on upload demo file, long procedure. If you are using this theme, you might have time to do that, but let me just go ahead with the theme that we have already. So because we have some pages installed already, while we're importing demos, there is a plugin we can use to remove all those pages. Everything a plugin or a demo theme has installed, there are tools you can use to remove them. But let me just go straight to the purpose of this demonstration, because by the time I'm going to install the demo we are testing with now, we are going to have these pages there. So let me first delete these pages. So I'll move them to trash. Then I will now import a theme now. So this is one of the themes I promised to give you. I'm going to make it available in the group. So I'm not looking for free themes. So if I'm going to search for free themes, I'm going to click on add new, then search here. I'm going to upload this theme from my system. So to upload the theme from my system, I will click upload theme, then choose. So for the church, let me use the one for the church. So I'm going to pick this blessing theme. I'm going to click on install. So I'm waiting for it to install. So most of all this theme, by the time you install it, is going to come with some plugins that will make those themes work efficiently. So I'm going to activate this theme. Like I said, they will require you to install some plugins, but those plugins are also free. And in the theme, they've also automated all these processes. So I'm going to click on begin installing plugins. If you read it, you're saying this theme requires the following plugins. So it's going to list the plugins for you. This theme recommends the following plugins, blah, blah, blah. So if it's saying requires, that means the theme cannot work before you install it. It's going to have some issues. But if it's saying recommends, that means some of the demos you might want to import might be using these things. So revolution slider are the slider image that will be sliding on your website, events calendar. So let's just install everything. Is there any part you would like me to repeat? Let me know before I move too far. So I want to install these plugins now. The video will be available for you to, check, pause, do the installation, then continue later. So I'm activating the themes. So you can see that there's OT one-click demo importer in this plugin as well. So most of all these themes, let me go back to the dashboard. Most of all these themes will have like a demo importer if it's premium that you can use to import demo. So this is talking about event calendar. Let me just skip this one for now. So for this is using WP Bakery, which is a visual builder. We're going to use it. So you can see that this team has installed some things that were not there before. Before we saw post, but this event was not there. But because the website theme, the website of the church demo you are importing has event section. So the team is going to install all the plugins that will make your team function very well. So you can see that installed event team, sermons. This sermon was not here before. It's the team that installed this plugin for sermons. So if you go to all sermons, you can add a new sermon and all those things. This is because you installed this theme. So that's that. So when I come to appearance, I can click on import demo. So how am I going to import demo? I showed you the demo of this website where we checked different options available on this website. So if you want to mirror the same demo on your website, because that's the essence of you buying the theme, you want to import something close to what you want to design. Then from there, start to edit. So let's say I want to import this demo now on my website. So I will come back to, where were we? Sorry, I'm looking for where we were before. So I'll come back to import demo and look for that particular theme, which is this first one. So if I click on install this demo now, so it's going to go on the internet, on the server of this theme, and download all the picture they used, all the layout they use, the page content they use, all the design, import them back, download them to your system, including the customizer. But don't worry, you can still import other things or edit and customize it to your taste. So let's wait for it to finish installing. Some of all these websites might not import the exact image for you because maybe they bought that image and those images have license. So they might just watermark it so that you will remember to change it. So it might take time. It depends on how big the demo is. What this is saying is downloading images and it's remaining like 50 images left. So while it's importing, another thing you can use to customize your website is this option below themes. When you go to appearance, you will see customize. So if I open this customize section, the option you will see here might vary based on whatever theme you install. Let's wait for it to load. Internet is a bit slow. Let me check if this one is done. It's still downloading. So this is the customized page. So it's saying from here I can change the theme I'm using. So you can see different categories. So this is the general setting under this customize. Under general settings, most of the time you will see something like home page settings. So home page settings gives you opportunity to pick out all the pages you have on your website. Which one do you want to use as the landing page or home page? when people come to your website. So that's the option of home setting. So I want to say home. So you can see so many pages that this theme installed. If I want to use about us, let me use about us as the home page. You are going to see that if I publish this, by the time I go to my front end, I'm going to see whatever this about us page is showing. But if I change it back to home, and most of all these things might have different design for different home page designs. So let me save this. Let me publish this. And let's go to our website. So you can see that the look and feel of our website has changed. Most of all those demo has been imported on our website. So we can now go ahead and customize. So let me go back to this, go back to plugins. What you are seeing from your end will be the same. Okay, you don't even have the theme. So let me log in as another website now. Let me log into one of the demos you are using. So it won't be as if I'm acting magic. So I'm going to the chat now. I'm going to the chat group now. I want to pick one of the website, one of the URL I created for you. It's already 10 o'clock. Before we move, let me just install this on. I'm picking group3.equalsite.com. Can you see it in the chat? So I'm using group3.equalsite.com. So I want to install the same thing on the website so that we're on the same page. So this is what is on group2 rather, .equalsite.com. So I now want to log into the admin WordPress backend now. So I'm pasting the URL I posted on the chat, which is group2.equalsite.com/wp-admin. I'm repeating what we've done before so that we can grasp the context. So I'm copying the password that is in the chat, group2. So we're on the same page, right? It's the same thing. So this is the demo on the group, so it's not like I'm doing any magic. So what we did was to come to Teams, then we came to add new. Because we are uploading this blessing theme from the web, I'm going to give you login. I'm going to upload this somewhere where you can download it. So I'm uploading the same theme now to this site. Install now. After installing this theme now, I'm going to stop here so that I will do a tutorial on how everybody can be on the same page to this place, so that we can continue the next class on customization of page. We'll use the first 30 minutes to answer questions. They will now continue on how we can customize our website. So after installing, I'm going to activate. So I've activated the blessing theme. The same thing it showed me the other time. It's saying these themes will require me to install some plugins. Remember, you don't need to pay for these plugins. Just click on begin installing plugin. Select all of them, click install. Select install and click apply. So it's going to download those plugins and install them. That's the first step. After installing them, we need to also activate those plugins. It's the same process. So you can see that everything I've been doing is just with the mouse. I'm not writing any code. I'm just clicking and clicking and clicking. It might look a bit complex at the beginning, but when you have hands-on and you are doing it, it will be a bit simpler for you, because you are only going to do this once. After this installation, you are just going to go to your pages and customize. So if you are going to use the website for 10 years, you don't need to do installation again. So I want to activate these plugins. So I'll wait for it to activate. So I think it's done. So let me go back to the dashboard. So So this was the same thing was showing me the other time. I skipped, but you can also allow and continue, but we're not here to customize for calendar now. Let's go back to our appearance. So we saw, we can see a new menu now, which is import demo data. So I'm going to import demo data, and I explained that the demo data we are importing is the same thing we saw on the website when you were checking the preview before you bought the theme. It's the same thing you want to replicate on your website, so that you can start editing from there. So I'm importing the theme now. After importing this theme, we're going to end today's class so that we can go back on the group and make sure everybody is up to date. I mean, to this extent, installing themes, installing free themes or installing premium themes. So do you have any question why this is installing? Are there questions? I expect you to be doing the same thing from your end, because it's supposed to be a practical session.
We don't have the teams that you used, sir.
You can go ahead with the free theme. That was why I first installed the free theme. So we have free themes. You can search for any theme. You know, I searched for landing page the other time. So you can use anything, search for anything, but I'm going to upload the theme as this one is uploading now, so that maybe after the class you can continue. I'm going to upload it now. You're so done. So import is complete. I'm pasting the link to this theme now on the chat, so you can download the theme. Check the chat of this Zoom. So this import is complete now. So I can go to the website. The website we're using is group2.equalsite.com. Sorry, I need to disable this countdown that we enabled earlier. So after disabling the countdown, you can see that this is the same thing we had on the demo. Isn't this lovely? So you can come to your website and start editing and customizing. So you don't need to start building blocks you just need to keep replacing some content under sermons. Let me go to sermon list now. So I imported some demo sermons on your site. So if you want to do this, if you want to edit this, you can see sermons under your side menu. You can see post, event, media, pages, comments, sermons. So these are the sermons, transforming lives. You can delete them. You can create new sermon. You can see sermon add new at the top. You can create new sermon, put your images, link to your audio sermon. So these are the demo imported for you. You can delete. It's just showing you the things you need to replace, because if the website is empty, you might not know how to edit it. So this is how you can replace all those things. So we'll do customization in the next class, but this is how to import, or for this website will give you like different layouts. So for this, you can have access to 3 different kind of home page. If I come to this second home page, if that's what you want, it's part of the demo, you can switch to it if you want this type of demo. So that's the power of themes. Theme will do most of the design for you. All you just need to do is just to put your content where you want them to be. So subsequently, we are going to work on how you can use plugins to add advanced functionalities to your website, like maybe you want to accept offering. We're not going to work with, I'm not going to, because if you are talking about content management system, if you are working in the scope of church website alone, you might not get the context, because there are so many kind of content you might want to create website for. So it might be like a event page, could be like maybe you're a pastor, you want to sell books, or it's a business website, because it's when you've tried those different kind of scenario, that's how you can be perfect in building websites. If you're only used to just building church websites, if they ask you to do for another use case, you might be stuck. But if you do for different kind of example, which is, we are going to pick maybe one section per training and work on it. You will do practical on either that's your field or not. I will advise that you go along with it, do your practicals on those aspects, customize the theme, and install plugin. Work with different plugins that we are going to use in the demonstration, so that you can be a pro in editing websites. So for this, you can see that I have a home page, and to edit this website, I can just click with edit with WP Bakery page builder. So I don't need to start coding and changing. We're not going to do much of this. I'm just showing you how simple it can be. We're not going to do this in this section because we are beyond the time we plan to, we scheduled for this training. So sermons, testimonials, you can see that as I'm hovering over it, it's giving me option to change those items. So I can come here and change all these things. For example, I want to change this image. I can click on this pencil icon. So you can see all the pictures that are here. I can remove this first one. I can rearrange them. I can delete them. Anything I want to do. So let me remove this first one. Add another picture. Let me drag this picture from my system. Let me pick demo images. It's still uploading. I can say add image. So I've added this to the bottom. I can move it around. So let me save these changes. So you can see that the picture is here. So it's as easy as that. I just picked on my system and added it to the list of pictures that are here. Then I can update the website. So you can go back to the website, preview whatever you want. So that's how you just edit text, images, change logo. It's so simple. So you can see the picture I just uploaded is part of what is in the gallery now. So I think we can end the class here, but before then I will you can ask questions, and other questions can be asked in the group. Any question?
Brother Prince, thank you so much for tonight. Sincerely, my mind is is filled with joy, and the fact that God is just raising us for this time. Honestly speaking, there are a lot of, though we have understanding of one or two things of this before now, also still refreshes our mind and our knowledge in this. And some people do not have understanding of this, but the way you started, if we can also still go back after now to go through this video and also check it more, I'm so sure that we'll be able to gain more knowledge of this, and from this we'll be able to impact our provinces, regions, zones, areas, and parishes, even our ministries. So it's just unfortunate, and I've already sent it on that group WhatsApp now. It's unfortunate that we have over 60 people, almost 70 something people there now, but only we have 19 or 20 people who attended this program tonight. And like I said there, we are not joking about this digital movement. It's either we let them just go and stay somewhere, or they join this movement. And what we are going to do is that by between now and next week, we're going to send a WhatsApp message or and also call to all our PICPs to intimate them to send a delegate to join this class, so that by the next DMC, when you are taking the CMS, a lot of people will be carried along. We will have divided audience, whereby we have some people who do not understand and some people who understand. So that is the essence of this online training. And also, I want us to the way you started with us now, it's fantastic. But please, sir, I pray that you will not be tired. We cannot pay you for all these things. There is no way we can pay you. I know how this training goes, and I know what it means for people to go and get it outside. But like I am telling us that everyone who is following us here right now, let's take note of them. There is a program coming up. It's not a program, it's actually the professional part of this, which I'm going to also extend it to you. Is designing a software for some specific church activities. I'm going to see you so that just be vigilant and also take cognizance of people who are following you in this training, so that from them you can pick them up when when we're about to start that as well. So the Lord will help us in Jesus' name. I'm so much grateful on behalf of my leaders. We are grateful. But please don't forget, by the week of Holy Ghost service, by God's grace, Thursday of that Holy Ghost service, maybe the evening or Wednesdays and Thursday, we are going to bring them together also, if possible, and also continue from where you stop. So I believe that this training is weekly, so that we can. Or what do you feel, sir? I don't know your mind.
It's weekly, but also based on availability. So I don't know how it will go. Maybe we'll still have another session.
Yes, if you can, we don't mind.
So, or if not,
mind.
maybe over the weekend or Monday.
Don't worry, sir. We'll mobilize more, because it's very, very important that we have this. We'll mobilize more. We'll mobilize more people. I can assure you. We'll mobilize more people to join this program.
All right, sir.
Thank you so much. Somebody said, will it be because it is divided into groups? No. Are we divided into groups? This CMS is different. Or what we will do is that, don't worry, like I said, we'll send a message to everyone who picked CMS, and we also we'll look into calling all the PICP, sending them messages, and if possible, sending them the group link, so that their IT person who they want to send to us can join that link. Thank you so much, sir. I'm grateful. Do we have any other question or what? Do we have any other question? Yeah. All right, sir. We can round up, sir.
Okay, that's all from my end. So, Pastor Benga, you can round up for us.
Thank you. We want to appreciate Brother Dari too. He's one of the lieutenants of Brother Prince. Brother Prince is the software manager or software developer expert in our CCG. So we are so delightful and grateful to God for your life. God bless you, sir, richly. In Jesus' name. Thank you, and thank you. On behalf of I say thank you. God bless you. Let's pray. Okay. Somebody say, my suggestion, can we make it twice a week? Yes, it's possible. It depends on our availability now. All our trainers, they are ready. Even as this group is going on, we also have another group also that they are also going on. So all our facilitators, all our trainers, they are ready, they are willing. It boils down on us now. So please let us, by God's grace, they are going to communicate to us when the next time we are going to be having, maybe Wednesday or Friday. Either of the two would be okay for us, sir, so that we can continue with that. The Lord bless us in Jesus' name. Father, we want to say thank you for tonight. Thank you for your children you use for us. Thank you for everyone who have gathered there to learn from your children you have impacted knowledge with. Father, please be lifted in Jesus' name. Lord, we ask, oh Lord, your children you have used, strengthen them. Lord, equip them the more. Lord, build them up. Don't let them go down in the race of life. Don't let them be defeated. Lord, help them. They are helping us. They are putting, they are making, they are striving to make your work to move forward. Father, Lord God Almighty, see to their needs also. Let them also move forward spiritually, physically, financially, morally, materially, in all ramifications of their lives. Lord, we ask, oh Lord, all your children that are coming here to learn, Father, please grant us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All these things we are learning, let it impact your work in our time. Let there be digital revival in the church of God to propel your work and to finish the task on time. Thank you, my Father. Blessed be your name. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Thank you so much.